Hello, this is Denise O'Connor with Counseling for Quality Living. And our talking point today is going to focus on the theme of spring cleaning. We are all ready for spring. Here in Chesapeake, Virginia, it doesn't feel much like spring. It's still pretty chilly outside, but the daffodils are blooming. The camellias are blooming on my bush in the backyard. Some of our bulbs are starting to break forth. And it's time to start thinking about, or dreaming about, I should say, the coming spring. When we think of spring, some of the words that come to mind are rebirth, renewal, organizing, a fresh start, decluttering, newness, and resurrection. We can start the spring cleaning of our mind by thinking about our feelings. Our feelings are not things that happen to us. They're things that we do. And we know that we do have control over our feelings because we can change our feelings or direct our feelings by being conscious of what we are thinking and doing. In order to change how we feel, we have to change what we're thinking and what we're doing. It's very dangerous to teach young children, for instance, to say, "You made me mad," or "You made me cry." Because the message that sends is that other people have the ability to control our emotions. Instead, we would want our children to learn to say, "When you took my toy," or "When you knocked me down," or "When you called me a name, I felt sad," or "I felt angry." So, first of all, when we're thinking about our feelings, we have to think about what we're thinking about. Because everything is created twice. First in the mind, and then in reality. So if we take some time to really think about what we think about, we will find that our thoughts very much lead us to the feelings that we have day in and day out. What thought patterns that we have developed are no longer serving us well? Is it negative self-talk? Is it use of the disconnecting habits like criticizing, blaming, and complaining? Is it speaking with insults? Is it gossiping? And how can I begin to reframe those kinds of thoughts so that my feelings are more in line with how I would like to feel? An example of reframing a thought would be this. I had a client the other day who was commenting that we've had some rainy weather and her two children like to play in the backyard, run around and play soccer and chase and all kinds of things with their friends. And then when they come in the house, they drag mud in. And she feels like she is constantly cleaning up muddy footprints, muddy shoe prints, and it puts her in a very bad mood. We thought about this for a few minutes, and I asked her how she could refrain that thought. And we decided that instead of dwelling on or thinking about how annoying and frustrating it is to have mud on the floor, perhaps she could focus on thinking about how fortunate she is to have two very healthy, active children that love to run and play out in the fresh air and that have good friends. That thought will certainly help her with the feelings of frustration that she's having, and perhaps replace those feelings with something that feels better, being thankful and grateful for healthy children that can run and play, and for the great friends that her children have. We can also begin to look at situations that happen to us, and instead of seeing it as such a bad thing, and some things are negative, but we can use the GLO, GLOW acronym. Look at this thing that has happened and ask yourself, is it a gift, a lesson, or an opportunity? Turn this not so great thing that has happened into something that would serve you well. Is it a gift, a lesson, or an opportunity? Instead of just settling for it's something bad that happened. So we said to change our feelings, we have to change what we're thinking and what we're doing. What habits, thinking about doing, what habits would I like to let go of? What habits that I have right now are not serving me well? Is it smoking, overeating, procrastinating, being perpetually late? And what steps do I need to take in order to be successful with letting go of some of these habits? Do I have a plan? How am I going to achieve this? And how am I going to know when I'm doing a little bit better? And how am I going to hold myself accountable for the increments of improvement that I want to see? The first step, I guess, is to realize above all that we do have a choice. We do have control over these habits, the things that we're doing. And that when we take the driver's seat and drive our own car and decide that we're going to think differently and do differently, then we can rest assured that we're going to feel differently as well. The next thing that we can concentrate on with our mental spring cleaning are our relationships. The most important thing for all of us are to feel that we are in good relationship with those near and dear to us. So we can look at our relationships and ask ourselves, which ones need a little more TLC? Which ones need to be revamped? And also, are there relationships in my life that I probably need to let go of? Are there some relationships that I'm forcing, that I am putting more time, effort, and energy into than need be? We need to give ourselves permission to be the captain of our own social geometry, to give ourselves permission to draw a circle that keeps the people in that we wish to have good relationship with and that offer something positive to our lives, and then to keep some relationships on the outside of that circle. People and relationships that may be toxic for us, that do not serve us well. Besides relationships, the thing that we can do to spring clean and really feel good about it is to look at how we are spending our time. Time is a very precious commodity for all of us. But we can ask ourselves this: is my life full or fulfilled? There is a difference between having a life that is simply full and a life that is fulfilling. Am I busy with things that add value to my life? Things that I am passionate about? Have I become involved in things that give me a sense of well-being? Or am I involved in some things simply because I wasn't able to say no or don't know how to say no? Am I living with intention and living with purpose and spending my time purposefully and intentionally on the things that I need and want to be spending the time with and on? Am I able to make a contribution, a true contribution to these committees and groups and associations? Or do I just show up and leave and not really give that duty much thought until the next time? Looking at how we spend our time has the potential to create more time in your day and in your life. When you learn to have a fulfilled life instead of just a full life. And the last thing that we can think about as we're doing our mental spring cleaning is what needs to be resurrected in my life. What things do I need to dust off and polish up and create anew? Have I lost my sense of joy? Have I lost my sense of purpose? And most importantly, no matter if you're 5 or 105, am I having fun? Do I make time in my life for fun? Fun is the reward for learning. Do I miss reading books? Do I miss playing a sport or playing an instrument? Do I miss taking walks or gardening? Just last year, about this time, I went through my own mental spring cleaning. Gave some time thinking about what I think about. How are my thoughts contributing to my feelings? What kinds of things am I doing that I need to switch up? Looking at relationships in my life. Looking at how I spend my time. And I decided that there were some things that I really enjoyed doing that I had just pushed to the side because of busyness or letting other things take their place. And those things were music and art. So I found a piano teacher and I started piano lessons again. It is challenging for me. It is rewarding for me, and it is so much fun. I have missed it for many, many years. Where art is concerned, I'm not a painter or a sculptor, but I love to create things. So I decided that I would start creating holiday cards. I just finished a batch of Easter cards, which I put in the mail today, that I handmade. I sent out some St. Patrick's Day cards and Thanksgiving cards. And I look forward to planning out what they're going to look like, gathering up the materials I might need, looking for ideas. And this has really given my creativity an outlet and has brought me a lot of joy. So, as we spring clean, as we purge, organize, evaluate, resurrect, dust off, replace some old worn out things, replace some habits, some actions, some thoughts with better ones, newer ones, and a more updated version. Let us remember that we have within us the power to direct our lives in any way that we see fit. Nothing will ever be perfect, but that's okay. It can still be wonderful. And if not wonderful today, then a little bit better than yesterday. And the day after that, a little bit better than the day before. Baby steps and moving forward. Happy spring and happy spring cleaning.